The Congress government went out of office in 96, was followed by a United Front government, later by a BJP NDA government, and the fact that despite changes in government, the rise of left parties, the rise of Bharatiya Janata Party and its allies, there was no change in the direction of reforms. All political parties, whatever they may say in opposition, have sworn by economic reform, and that our country needs economic reform to realize its full developmental potential. I sincerely hope and trust that when the leader of the opposition and his colleagues reflect calmly on the situation that we have dealt with in our present incarnation, he would come to the conclusion that the path that we have chosen is a right path. Honorable Leader of the Opposition started by saying that the UPA inherited a fast-growing economy and we have made a mess of it. I would like to remind the Honorable Leader of the Opposition that the government of which he was a distinguished member was from 1999 to 2003-2004, and if I look at the data of growth rates in 98-99, the growth rate of the economy was 6.7%. In 99-2000, it was 7.6%. In 2000-2001, it was 4.3%. 2001-2002, 5.5%, and 2002-2003, 4%. And it's only in 2003-04 that the growth rate picked up, and we had a growth rate of 8.1%. By contrast, if you look at the 9 years of the UPA, in 2004-05, growth rate of the economy was 7%. In 2005-06, 9.5%. In 2006-07, 9.6%. 2007-08, 9.3%. In 2008-09, 6.7%. 2009-10, 8.6%. 2010 2011, 9.3%, 2011-12, 6.2%. It's only in the current year, 2012-13, that the growth rate will fall to 5%. Sir, as the Honorable Finance Minister has pointed out in his budget speech, we do not believe that the slow growth will come to stay where it is today. We have every intention to use all policy instruments to push up the growth rate, and it is our expectation that in the next 2 or 3 years, the economy can once again bounce back to a growth rate of 7 to 8%. Sir, what was the main point made by the Honorable Leader of the Opposition? He said, we created first the crisis and now we are trying to resolve this crisis. His reference was obviously to the expenditure that were incurred by the UPA government.
प्रधानमंत्री ने जहां एनडीए के शासनकाल के दौरान हुए आर्थिक विकास से अपने कार्यकाल के विकास की तुलना की, वहीं दूसरी ओर सामाजिक अभियानों की दिशा में भी उन्होंने अपने वक्तव्य में खास जोर दिया और सर्व शिक्षा अभियान की सफलता का विशेष तौर पर जिक्र किया।
in the course of last 9 years to bring a social balance in our patterns of spending, to pay greater attention to social sectors of the economy. Shri Jaitley very sarcastically said that the UPA government first increased expenditure in an unbridled fashion and now wants to take credit for enforcing financial discipline. Sir, we are proud of expanding expenditure in the social sector. We are proud of increasing spending in programs that ensure access to health and education for the common man and particularly for the weaker sections of our society. We are proud of increasing spending in programs that provide livelihood security to the poor. We are proud of making all sincere efforts for fulfilling our commitment for inclusive growth. Look at the health sector. We have increased expenditure from about rupees 7,500 crore in 2003-4, which was the last year of the NDA government, to about 27,000 crore in the year 2011-12. This is a 3.5 times increase in Service Shiksha Abhiyan, where the expenditure has gone up 7.5% from 2,730 crores in 2003-4 to rupees 20,841 crores in 2011-12. The results are for everyone to see, and I do not wish to cite here all the indicators that reflect our successes. Let me also say to this August House that we will continue supporting these schemes and programs. Sir, Shri Jaitley referred to programs initiated by the NDA government. Whatever good programs were there, we have carried them forward. Take, for example, the case of the Service Shiksha Abhiyan. In 2003-2004, the actual estimate of expenditure was 2,730 crores, whereas in 2012-2013, it was 21,907 crores. Statement with regard to the midday meal program, from small amounts in 2003-4, rupees 1,375 crores. In the current year, the expenditure will be 9,890 crores. I could go on. The point that I wish to make, sir, is that during the NDA period, there was token provisions. Although great names were used, Pradhan Mantri's Gram Sadak Yojana, this program, that program, but the amount of money that was allocated to these programs was very, very small, and therefore their capacity to make impact in the areas where spending was to be targeted, devoted, was pretty small. Take, for example, the case of the PMGSY. 2001 to 2003, for the NDA period, the releases were 9,682 crores. From 2009-10 to 2012-13 in UPA 2, 56,251 crores. In UPA 1, 2004-5 to 2008-9, rupees 38,637 crores. Whether you look at rural development or you look at infrastructure, including the road program, the National Highway Authorities working, there has been a tremendous increase in spending under the UPA government. We are not ashamed of that. There may be some problems with regard to the way the program is being managed. There are bound to be difficulties, particularly when large sums of money are being spent for the first time. I do not deny that there are problems, but these are problems of growing up. These are problems of a fast-growing economy trying to realize its full development potential. And therefore, I would respectfully submit to the Honorable Leader of the Opposition that he should be more objective in assessing the performance of the UPA government. Whether it is growth rates, whether we are dealing with agricultural development, whether we are dealing with the pace of industrialization, the record of the UPA speaks for itself, and I don't have to go deep into this matter. Shri Arun Jaitley referred to the problem of terrorism, the role of National Center for Control of Terrorism. I believe there are no 2 points of view that we should not make any compromise with terrorism. And I sincerely hope and believe that when it comes to dealing with terrorism, all political parties will speak with one voice, and it will be our effort that in order to bring about a broad national consensus, we will work with the state government to give meaning and substance to the proposal of the NCTC. With regard to the developments in Jammu and Kashmir, I would once again say to this House that our policy is policy based on evolved national consensus, that we will not do anything which is against the national interest, that in formulating our policies, the well-being of the people of Jammu and Kashmir will be always a paramount interest, consistent with the requirements of national economy and national polity. Sir, Shri Ram Gopal Yadav referred to the need of increased emphasis being given to the agricultural sector, and I share his concern that more should be done for the development of our agriculture. Agriculture has been doing quite well in the last 8 or 9 years, and in the 11th five-year plan, the growth rate of agricultural production was 3.7% as against 2.4 and 2.5% in the previous two plans, that is the 9th and the 10th plan. But I would be the last person to deny that more attention needs to be paid to the development of our agriculture. And I'm very happy that some of the Bimaru states are showing good results. Today, Bihar, I am told, has the highest growth rate among the states, but that is as it should be, starting from a low base, whether it is Bihar, whether it is Madhya Pradesh. These are states which have been backward. People and governments are now trying to grapple with the problem of backwardness more effectively. If they are succeeding, we are all very happy at their success. And one must never forget the contribution made by my esteemed friend and colleague, Shri Sharad Pawar, in making powerful pleas for allocating more resources for the development of agriculture, Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana, National Food Security Bill. These have made an impact, and the fact that the growth process, particularly in agriculture, is showing positive direction, positive trend in several hitherto backward states is something with which we can express happiness, and I sincerely believe that more can be done, will be done, and our government will remain alive to the needs of our farmers, even in areas where there is drought, there is scarcity, there is shortage of drinking water. We will work with the state governments to deal with these calamities with forceful presentation and action points. Sir, I do not wish to take your time.
प्रधानमंत्री ने अपने जवाब में जहां एक और तमाम मसलों को उठाया, वहीं वैदेशिक नीति पर भी उन्होंने बड़ी साफगोई से जवाब दिया और उन्होंने कहा कि विदेश नीति पर सरकार किसी तरह का कोई समझौता नहीं करेगी, लेकिन पड़ोसियों के साथ वह जरूर बेहतर संबंधों की अपेक्षा रखती है।
Shri Arun Jaitley referred to foreign policy in the concluding part of his speech, and I should say that we are in an unsettled neighborhood. We have therefore to be alert, but we will never compromise with our national interests. We want our neighbors to prosper. We want our neighbors to be partners in progress, and I sincerely hope that we will work with our neighbors to give the SAARC region a new profile of strong growth than that has been possible hitherto. There are problems in Sri Lanka. We have been worried about the fate of the Tamil population in Sri Lanka. It has been our effort to plead with the government of Sri Lanka that there must be political reconciliation, that without national reconciliation, the situation cannot remain calm, that the Sri Lankan government must therefore take initiative to talk to the Tamil leadership in Sri Lanka, and it will be our effort to work with the government of Sri Lanka to ensure that Tamil people of Sri Lanka do get a chance to lead a life of dignity and self-respect as equal citizens of the country. Sir, with regard to Pakistan, we have made sincere efforts to normalize our relations. We have achieved some progress in this regard. People-to-people contacts have gone up. Trade relations have shown improvement. But there cannot be normalization of relations between our two countries unless and until the terror machine, which is still active in Pakistan, is not brought under control. This has been our policy during the 9 years that we have been in office, and it is the same approach which would guide us in dealing with Pakistan in years to come. We are very happy that our President's visit to Bangladesh was deeply appreciated by the government and people of Bangladesh, and I sincerely hope that as a means of promoting friendship between the two countries which have such close relationship, the house, this house and the other house would have the wisdom to endorse the land boundary agreement which I signed along with the Prime Minister of Bangladesh when I visited Bangladesh. This is an agreement which will ensure peace and tranquility on the border. It will remove uncertainties, and I am convinced that this is an agreement which is in the interest of both countries. And I sincerely hope that when we bring this bill before Parliament, Parliament would have the wisdom to approve it with acclamation. Sir, with regard to Nepal, there is uncertainty, but we sincerely hope that the multi-party democracy which has been introduced will survive and thrive. And our effort has been to work with the government and people of Nepal to strengthen the processes and working of multi-party democracy. In Maldives, there have been unfortunate problems after the February 2012 events. We sincerely hope that the best course is to have elections to the office of the President, which are due in September 2013. There should be free, fair election with an inclusive process, with all people participating in the processes of electing a new president. And I sincerely hope that the government and people of Maldives will overcome this atmosphere of crisis and uncertainty. Mr. Chairman,